Chapter 172. The First Church on Earth. The 7 messengers of the height in Lamech's palace in the city of Hanoch. We have now spent 7 days on the height with the children of God, and witnessed and heard at great length, deed after deed and word by word, about the first establishment of the church on earth, through Jehovah's visible presence. Thereby we received a full explanation of the 6 days of creation, as stated in the Bible by Moses, through which nothing else but the very founding of the first church on earth is to be understood. And we can again leave the height for a short time and go to the city of Hanoch to see and hear what was going on there and what changes had occurred there within the space of a week. Thus we go down. What is happening here? What is going on here? Look, at this moment Kisahel, Sethlehem, and another brother who shall be named Joram are about to enter the palace of Lamech. What is their intention? What will they do? And what abominations will their eyes behold? So listen and see. Since their speedy arrival in the city of Hanoch, the 7 messengers have several times approached Lamech. They were shown everything, there being also dainty ladies' maids, who hovered around them in all sorts of lewd postures, talking and gesturing enticingly. They had almost completely ensnared 4 of them, in all earnest. Wherefore, on the dispute day, the angel Abel was sent down to them by me, and these 4 are not present this time. But they had not been received by Lamech himself as yet. This time the 3 are firmly determined to penetrate into Lamech's chamber, no matter the cost. This is why they are just entering the palace. What do they want from Lamech, who does not want to admit, but only entice and catch them through his newly recruited ladies' maids and courtesans? You know what he had done to the name of Jehovah? Look, it leads up to this. He must, with his own hands, dig out the hole, and in the prescribed manner clean the tablet. You will clearly see by their side what they will behold on this occasion. When they arrived at the first stairway, they found it filled on both sides with the fairest and most voluptuous, seductive women, all stark naked, who were wailing pitifully and asking the 3 messengers to rescue them. Otherwise, they had to die the most cruel death within the next hour, for they had failed the previous day to catch them, Lamech's worst enemies, and deliver them up to his most glowing revenge. But this is only one of Lamech's ruses, and the 3 instantly recognized it as such, and Kisahel said to the naked women, "Listen, you evil nest of vipers! Not Lamech will cruelly exterminate you, But the sharp rod of Jehovah will do this to you. Pus and boils will be consuming you alive outside the city in the puddles, swamps and morasses. Jehovah's almighty will be done forever. Amen. The same instant, about 60 naked women were inflicted with frightfully burning scabs and rushed madly, angry and howling through the lanes of the city to the aforementioned puddles, swamps and morasses, and threw themselves into them. Thereupon their bodies were infested with pus and abscesses, and the flesh began to fall off their bones, putrid and stinking, while they were still alive. Thus the first stairway was cleansed. When they reached the second, they were greeted by an even more terrible wailing, for also this stairway was filled with naked women, who were being virtually torn to pieces with the sharpest rods by the personal myrmidons of Lamech. When the bleeding women saw the three mighty ones, they began to scream even more loudly that the three might rescue them from the hands of Lamech's personal myrmidons. And Kisahel commanded the myrmidons, "Stop wielding your rods, and lead the heroines of Lamech out to the puddles, swamps and morasses. There they will meet their fellow sluts, and will share their reward with them. But your hands shall henceforth never touch a rod, or you will die like these heroines of vice. Jehovah's will be done now as forever. Amen." And at once the myrmidons threw away the rods, bound the mangled women's hands on their backs, and dragged them out to the puddles, swamps and morasses. Only here did the women begin to howl most frightfully, realizing the fate of their companions. Then the myrmidons loosed their hands and left them, and the women, full of despair, threw themselves into the swamps and, like the others, perished. When the myrmidons had returned to the palace, the three told them to turn to Jehovah and never again enter the palace, but go with their wives to Pharak, where a different destiny awaited them. Soon the 100 myrmidons left the palace, and the three proceeded to the third stairway.